Hey everyone, I'm Channing McCorston, the Container Guy. Recently in our comments, we had someone ask, how do you remove the floor in a shipping container? I had to sift through our videos. We did have one video where we kind of showed it, but it wasn't a very good tutorial. So in this video, we are going to show you exactly how to do it, how we do it, and then we'll maybe try out how you can do it at home, because we like to use equipment and we understand that some of you guys might not have that. At the end of the video, I'll address a nasty myth of the container plywood flooring being toxic for human occupancy. Stay tuned. So, we here like to use our equipment. We have top lifts. We're able to remove all the screws of these wood floors. If we put blocking underneath and set this thing down, the floor is no match for the weight of the top lift, and they come and pop right up. You folks at home do not have top lifts and the luxury that we do, and so we're gonna do a little science experiment. We're gonna use our bolt-on D-rings. These are something I developed. I did kind of help a supplier out, and they wanted me to manufacture them. I sent them a batch and off they went to China, so fool me once, I won't be sending them any more products, but yeah, something I developed. What it is, it's a replacement for these D-rings. Allows you to go, well, specifically up top, and then you can hang the shelving brackets from them. So it's a pretty cool product, something I came up with. And we're gonna maybe try to use this by using our 5/16 sheet metal screws, which are a little bit softer than a lag and don't break. Bolt them to the ground, and we'll try to maybe just ratchet strap up to the top D-rings to lift the panel section out. We'll also show you how we do it. So if you do have a forklift or something, you can do that. Another option, if you want to lift up a container at home, we do have a specialized container jacker. And so that goes on the outside corner castings, and you can put a bottle jack in there and lift the container up, slide some blocking in there, and then lower it back down, and that would work. If your floor is stubborn and you need a way to hydraulically remove the flooring, you can purchase those container jackers. I think we got them on the website or on Amazon, they're available. And they're just handy to have anyway. If your doors aren't working properly, you can utilize them and they will get your can leveled out and your doors working efficiently. So the first step to this is just removing the wood screws. And so you'll see a lot of them, they're just a Phillips screw now. I think they used to be Torx way back in the day. But you'll need the biggest Phillips bit. And they're on the brand new containers, they're pretty easy to take out. On used containers, sometimes you have fun, but it's a lot of times, yeah, self-drilling Phillips. Looks like a grade 8 hardened screw there. It's I guess a trailer deck screw. And so just repeat that process over and over to remove everything from your wood floor. You can do a couple more here. It's interesting to see with this wood floor, there's like a lacquer on the screw. And so this is, honestly, I think they call it like an eco-friendly bamboo floor, but I think it's just low budget. And so this here, on these one-time use containers that are meant to be sold right away, it's great for storage because it doesn't wick moisture. But I think it also is just less expensive than the very rugged teak flooring that's used in like a leasing company or a shipping line spec. And then one other thing I do want to talk about prior to getting at this is in this specific modification, we need to remove about, I don't know what it is, 7 feet of the flooring or something. And our staff were thinking they wanted to remove this whole, call it 4x8 sheet, cut it off with a skill saw or on the table saw, and then reinsert it in its place. That's not a good idea. These panels don't go back where they were. They'll always be a little bit higher just because of, if you ever dealt with something that's been silicone down or caulked in place, it just doesn't quite get to where it needs to be. So take your skill saw and cut it where you want to remove the floor, and then finish off with an oscillating tool. Make sure you got a nice clean cut, and then only remove the floor sections that you need to remove and leave the rest. And so another thing, if you're at home and you're trying to do this and you have primitive tools, remove everything that's going to be blocking this from coming out. So whether right at the seam here, the two panels are snug, tight together. If you took your skill saw, your flooring is 1 1/8 inches thick. So if you set a skill saw to 1 inch, you'd have 1/8 of clearance, kind of playing with fire there a little bit, but you could cut right along this line and then just get the saw blade width gap between the two floorboards. That might allow you to get a pry bar in there or something. You can do it a couple times, but that, you won't ruin a whole panel in case you want to save these. They're awesome chunks of wood, but you'll just get yourself some clearance. And then these are all caulked all around the edge. That stuff's like glue, and so if you have a utility knife or something and you ran it around there, that's going to release the floorboard from the sides or from the footer here. So just everything you can do to try and free this thing up as best as you can. Make sure all the screws are removed. Hopefully you're working on a new container, because it sucks with the used ones. We used to try to just take a Sawzall and cut out big chunks and pry and pop. Employees would spend a day trying to remove a few floorboards. Now, when we just remove the screws and we use our equipment and just set it down, it happens just like butter. And so we're gonna get at this and perform our experiment with the D-ring and then show you how we do it. Also, hopefully we don't hurt ourselves with the ratchet straps. If we feel it's unsafe, we'll probably stop, but hopefully we succeed with that. If it doesn't work, it's also good information for you guys to know. So get at her. Let's go, boys. So we figure if we pop one floorboard out first, that might be cheating. And so we might want to try the ratchet strap first, see how that goes. We might not succeed here, but let's try it. So we're using our 5/16 sheet metal screw. This strap is gonna go that way. I don't know if I wanna pull. Might try to pull that way. That's snug. I honestly have more faith in this now than I did before. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh. So here we go, the moment of truth. Not sure what's gonna happen here. We purposely just grabbed little 1-inch straps just to see how tight we can go. We don't really want this to hurt ourselves, but yeah, Curtis, I don't know if you'd wanna try to come crank that one. That's good. Actually, you don't do yours? Give me a high five over there. Done. I had zero faith in that working. I thought for sure we wanted to kind of half fool you guys and remove one panel so that it was easier, and then maybe the second one would come free. But no, that's not true science. I wanted to try it out first with the first panel, and I couldn't even believe it once it started lifting up, especially with just the little retractable 1-inch strap there, because that's because of past experience. Past experience tells me that these things are really hard to get out, and that was just way too easy. So maybe this thing's fresh out of the oven in China, who knows. But yeah, bolt-on D-rings, these are available for sale on Amazon or our website. Typically come in 3 packs meant for hanging shelf brackets, but they're perfect for this job. William doesn't believe us. He thinks that we're just kidding. Let's let him try. We enjoy this so much, we don't even know if we're gonna show you the other way we do it. I think we just literally changed the way that we're gonna do this forever. If this doesn't work, then we'll go to the top lift. But why mess around with equipment when we can just use a couple ratchet straps? We left a screw in for him. Oh, okay, no. So that's kind of how I expected it to go on the first one as well. Maybe we should. Yes. Let's get out the old X-Acto knife and cut the caulking and see if that changes anything. Yeah, that's what we experienced. He can make it look so difficult. So there you have it. Something interesting to see here is in China, this looks like a chunk of fiberglass. They used to use steel, and it used to actually rust really badly. So I'm actually happy to see that they switched to something that doesn't corrode. But this just seams the 2 chunks of wood, allows them to bitumen seal around it, and just stops moisture or worse, ants and stuff getting up into your container. And it looks like they did run a line of sealant before they laid down their floorboards on both sides of it. So that's good. Another thing, if you're watching this video, you're probably wondering how to remove the floor, and then also what it's going to look like once you get down there. Potentially, if your can's sitting on the ground, you don't even know what the floorboard looks like. Come over here, we'll show you. So under here, you're going to expect to see C-channel style cross members. These are folded. Looks like they're 4 3/4 of an inch. It's a millimeter dimension, 120 mil cross member. And these are typically 11 inches on center, and you'll be able to tell how far these are spread apart by the screw holes in the wood floor. So if you're wanting to do this for a modification, there is room under here to insulate, but there's not the ability to run plumbing through here. People think, oh, I'll just put my toilet flush on the floor and then run my plumbing, cut holes through all these joists. If you do that, you're ruining the structural integrity of your container. So it's not meant for that, but you can spray foam under here. You could spray foam and use some mineral wool for some added R value. Another thing to look at is the floorboards themselves. They have like a planed edge here that allows them to just sit nicely in the corners where the bottom channel is. And then typically they're a 19 ply teak plywood, but this is that other flooring. It's kind of hard to see on this edge. I don't know if I can clean it up. It looks different. So this is that eco bamboo, and it doesn't look like your traditional plywood where you just see all the layers. It's kind of more like an OSB or a particle board, and I think that's why it's less expensive. It's more just glue and scraps rather than actual real wood. But it is eco-friendly, and but either way, there's a nasty rumor about floorboards as well, that people think that there's these chemicals that you can't breathe. If you go into the NPSA, National Portable Storage Association, that's our organization that all of us, the container guys, are subscribed to, so to speak, and we meet together twice a year at conferences. They paid a laboratory to do an experiment on this flooring of whether it actually is truly dangerous, and basically it's not safe for human consumption. So as long as you're not eating large portions of the flooring, you will be fine. You're not going to kill yourself by building a container home and utilizing the existing floorboards. Don't remove it just because you heard a weird rumor. There's myths. That's the whole container modification industry all over the internet, is just pure myths. So the reason for this YouTube channel is to start squashing those and give you guys correct answers. We can give a link to that publication in the comments down below. That'll let you read it and prove it to yourself. So that there is pretty much a wrapped up version. It's unexpected of how we were planning on doing this process and filming this video, but I think we came up with an answer. If you're looking to remove the floorboards, you can secure something. This doesn't have to be these bolt-on D-rings. It could be an eye bolt, something. If you drilled through, if you can get your hand around, oh, got the shop cat here. If you can get your hand underneath there and secure something that's strong, that isn't gonna rip out, and allow you to use a ratchet strap or something to remove the floorboards, it works. I see here, you know, we used 1 inch and it was getting a little tight, but if you do have your 2-inch ratchet straps, most people have that. It's a commonly available tool. This should allow you to winch up your container. I love the retractable ones. You don't have to wrap them up. So anyway, let's wrap this video up. If you enjoyed the video, please help us out. Give it a like. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe to our channel and ring that bell for notifications. And as always, check us out at tcg.ca. Hope you learned something. Cat, get out of here.